Hello. Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hola.
What's up?
No mucho. How are you?
Just fine, thanks.
I'm glad to hear that.
Nice
Happy
to
Tuesday.
hop on a
I
happy
know.
Tuesday.
I know. I'm really I haven't even been talking to you that much, I feel like. I mean,
I
we
know.
we talk, but I was just like, "Hey, want to stream?" And I
Yeah,
was kind
okay.
of expecting you to be like, nah," but you were like, "Yeah."
Oh, well, here I am.
Yeah. Well, I was really glad. 'Cause it's nice when
Hmm.
we're in the same mode.
Mm-hmm.
Same
Yes.
mode.
Hello, Strawberry. Hi, irradiated woman. Hello, hello. Thanks for joining us. We don't have any agenda whatsoever.
No, just hanging.
Just here to chat.
Check
So,
in with the Terf team.
mm-hmm. Hi, Willow.
Happy Pride Month.
Uh-huh. Yes, it's Pride Month.
Are you proud?
I guess so.
I read something, it was a gay person wrote it, and they were like, "It's kind of weird at this point to
Uh-huh.
be, like, proud of it because it's at least the LGB has been normalized for so long now." Like,
Yeah.
forget the TQ, for a second, but it's also,
Mm-hmm.
like they're like, at this point, it's like a straight person being like, "I'm proud of my sexuality,"
Oh, I
because
know.
it's
It's
like
so, yeah.
it's a little
I
cringe.
I mean, well, this August I will have been out for 20 years.
Yeah, that's
Um,
amazing.
so it's just not even like I don't think about it. It's whatever.
Yeah.
And Pride, let's be real, is not even about us anymore anyway. It's about people with weird fetishes and
Yeah.
diapers and shit. So sometimes literal
Definitely.
shit.
Yeah.
So, so I just, yeah, it's not for me. But
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, I think it's, like, not like I'm one to have any authoritative opinion on it or anything, but,
oh no.
it's yeah, there I mean, I'm sure there are especially kids who are LGB
Mm-hmm.
who need that support in coming out. Like, when you say, "Oh,
Yeah.
I've been out for 20 years," like, it's in a sense, it's like, is that, like, privilege or something, you know what I mean? Like, that you've been able
Mm.
to live your life with relatively little consequence because you're a lesbian,
Yeah.
and not
Yeah.
everybody feels that way. Yeah, exactly, like Will
Yeah.
was
Good
saying,
point,
still
Willow.
illegal all over the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think for that sense, it's still yeah, I'm in solidarity with LGB in other
Yeah.
places. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, my
And
city,
it's
like,
like
go ahead.
yeah. No,
No,
you
go
go
for
ahead.
it. Oh, I was just gonna say,
You're the
my
gay
city does
one.
like, we do like a week of like events in June, and then there's like a parade and a party in the park and stuff. And like, I'll usually go mostly
Yeah.
because my mom wants to go. But
Well, that's
yeah,
cool.
yeah, it's fine. But I think I will be in Montreal when it's on this year. So
Oh, that's super soon.
yeah, next week.
Whoa! Are you,
Yeah,
like,
uh,
you're flying there?
yeah, a week from
Obviously.
tomorrow I fly.
Whoa.
I know.
That's so exciting.
Yeah.
You're gonna get to see your boyfriend in the
That's
flesh.
funny.
Your long distance
Yes.
boyfriend.
He doesn't even know I exist. Yes, hopefully I will see Max decimate and win, which he's been doing consistently this whole season. So,
Fingers
um,
crossed. No,
heck
don't
yeah.
jinx him.
I won't. It's fine. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Um, yeah, gonna be great.
Yeah,
So, hmm
I'm very excited for you.
thanks. I'm really looking forward to it. I looked up the other day, I looked up how to get from my hotel to the racetrack. And
Oh,
I've got
cool.
that all sorted out, and I got my tickets
Nice.
finally, and that's
Woohoo.
exciting. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
There.
Um,
Hmm.
Yay.
So that's all that's going on in my life.
That's not all of that's big. That's huge.
But
You
yeah,
don't
no, I'm
travel
super
too
excited.
much,
No,
like
I
since
did last
COVID.
year a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Last year I was in Victoria and Vancouver for a bit, but yeah, I know this year I haven't been anywhere.
Yeah.
So just Montreal.
Yeah. That's exciting. I
What's
know.
upcoming for you?
Well, I was actually talking with my brother and sister about taking a trip, and we kicked around
Hmm.
Montreal too. It wouldn't
Hmm.
be overlapping with your trip, but maybe later in the summer. So my she's a school nurse now.
Yeah.
She's had so many different like nursing job experiences, but
Mm-hmm.
she's a school nurse, so she has the summer off, basically July and
Mm.
August. So we're
Mm-hmm.
thinking about, and then my brother has like tons of time. He never uses his vacation. He never goes anywhere. He's a
Me
total
too.
homebody like me. Yeah. So, but we did a sibling trip right before COVID to
Oh,
Utah,
nice.
and it was really
Oh,
fun.
nice.
I was like kind of sick then, so it wasn't, but we still got out and did a lot of stuff despite that. And we just got like an Airbnb in Salt Lake City, and it was really fun. Like it's just fun to see a new place. And I've been
Yeah.
to Montreal before, but only that's the only time I've ever been out of the country, and when I was like 19 years old.
Oh, wow.
And my
Really?
sister, yeah, yeah. So we went for
Okay.
like I think 2 days in Montreal and 2 days in Quebec City. And that's it. That's the only time I've ever left America. So it'd be cool to go again. And then
Dang.
my sister like studied French in school, but she's never been to a French speaking place.
Mm.
And so I think it'll be really fun for her because she's kind of a Francophile. And she's only left the country once herself. She went to Mexico.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I think that would be really cool. I kind of want to do that and maybe also go to Maine. Not on the same trip,
That would be
probably,
so
but
nice.
I've never been to Maine. So
Maine seems
we'll
so
leave
like
clues.
quaint,
It
picturesque.
does. It's New England, but I think it's really different than
Right.
this New
Yeah.
England. Like
That's
we're
the
just
vibe I get
so
too.
where I live, it's like all New Yorkers. It's just like
Mm.
very close, like New York City connection.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, Maine is just another world, I think. But I would rather. It's too bad, like her work schedule or whatever, because I'd rather go to Maine more in like the off season, like in like the middle of
Mm-hmm.
September or something, because I feel like it's just like insanely crowded in the summer, and I that just makes me anxious.
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
yeah, useless's comment so funny.
I
Leave clues
know.
behind.
I'll do my
No, I
best.
think it would be at Montreal. Well, do you speak French at all? I mean, everybody there speaks
Mm.
English, so I don't think it was not an issue when we went at all. But
Yeah, in Montreal
what's
it's not, but in
funny?
Quebec City it is.
There are more, yeah, but even if you stick to like the touristy areas, um,
Mm.
everyone speaks English. It was, where it was like in between. We stopped at like a
Yeah.
subway in between like Montreal and Quebec City in like just the middle of a cornfield or something. And they did not speak English at all, but
Mm.
you made it work.
Or maybe they did, but they just refused to, because that is a Quebec thing sometimes.
Yeah, could be.
Good times. Yeah, no, I've been to Montreal before and it was fine with the language. So I don't, I
Yeah.
took 3 years of French, but that's all that
Oh,
is
okay.
required of us.
Yeah.
And it's only
That's
required in
that's a
grades
good.
4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, I felt even going there for like a few days, you start to pick up more and more stuff because you're kind of immersed in it. It's like
Mm-hmm.
all the signs are in French. Like
Yeah.
I studied Spanish, so it's not really like that different, in a sense. there's a lot of overlap between Spanish and English and French, so you can kind of start to figure things out.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, it's easy to kind of piece it together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be good. I am super bougie. Don't judge me.
Uh-huh. No,
I
I don't.
I treated myself to business class for my flights.
Nice.
I
That is
know.
nice though, especially if you don't fly that often.
Well, that's right. Yeah, and it's only
You
me. It's
know,
only one person. So
it's a pretty short flight though, isn't it? 3
4.5,
hours.
5 hours.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's good. Good for
That's
you.
yeah. But why not? Because I
Irradiated
couldn't get the
woman.
Paddock Club passes because they're $17,000. So I
Oh
thought,
yeah, that's for another class of people who don't pay taxes.
yeah, no kidding, right? People who don't pay taxes. Too funny.
Oh boy. Irradiated
Hmm.
woman's comment. I took 5 years of French and I feel like I don't remember a goddamn
I
thing.
know. I remember bonjour and pamplemousse. Everyone knows pamplemousse.
Ah,
Au
that's funny.
revoir. Uh, that's about it. Comment ça va?
C'est la vie.
Yeah, say la vie. I say that a lot, actually. That's too funny. Yeah, we
What
haven't done this in
else?
a long time.
I know.
We both had a little bit of a slump.
Yeah, I'm gonna
It's allowed
talk about
sometimes.
that though. I mean,
No, no,
I'm
no.
pretty sure I'm gonna stream on Friday. I streamed last Friday. It went good.
Good.
So I was like, the rest of the day, I was like, oh, stream went so good. I'm so happy. It's like YouTube's my bad boyfriend, you know? Like it goes good and I'm
Mm-hmm.
happy, and then it goes bad and I'm sad.
Yeah.
Oh, it paid attention to
Um.
me. I'm happy. Oh, they didn't pay attention to me. I'm sad.
Yeah. I I'll probably be able to come on Friday, like to the chat. I'll be at work, but
Yeah, that would be
um,
great.
only for a little bit though, because I'm leaving work early because I'm going camping.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So that'll be
That's
exciting. I'm looking forward to your
exciting.
article.
Yeah, I won't spoil it. I had another
Yeah.
article. Oh, I saw this
Oh.
thing. I don't know if this is like too hot for YouTube. Let me send it to you in our chat.
Uh-huh.
If
Oh man.
I can find it. Okay, here we go. This is just, oh gosh, they cut. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay. This is just like I just Googled the thing and this is like a random article about it. I was thinking maybe about talking about this on Friday, but if you want to talk about it,
Ooh.
I do have a picture. It's really not like, it's like, I feel like I wonder if it wasn't pointed out, if I would have even noticed it. Okay, no one knows what we're talking about because I'm just saying that.
Oh, I would never have noticed if I didn't know to look.
Right? But people were like pretty like in an uproar about it.
Woman has bodily function. Like,
Yeah. So it's like a
huh.
picture of this woman who's a triathlete.
Oh, should I share?
Yeah, you could. For sure.
Okay, hold on. Just, oh, for Pete's sake, why? Struggling.
Don't struggle.
I'm trying. Okay.
Don't fight it. Flow with it.
Share screen. Share tab. It was this picture.
Yeah. It's so nothing.
Yeah, that her period started while she was running. Like,
Yeah. Or like she had it and it just
right.
overflowed.
Yeah. Well, it's so nothing at all. You're right.
It's like good. You know, I would be mad about
Yeah,
that.
I
It's
know.
like, yeah, well, so I kind of wanted to talk on Friday, like I was talking to you before the stream, I went for an ultrasound today, and like
Mm-hmm.
on Friday I want to talk about Elliot Page because there's an article in the New York Times about her,
Uh-huh.
um and so much of what she says, it seems to be, I haven't read the article, I just skimmed it, but it's about her. She wrote a book. I don't know
Yeah,
if you knew that. Yeah, did you know
I
that?
did.
Yeah,
Isn't the title something kind of weird?
it's like Page Boy.
Oh, right. Oh, God.
Yeah,
Okay. Anyway.
kind of cool. But it's a lot of like discomfort with her body and like
Mm.
shame about her female body. And I was just kind of reflecting like um I went to the gynecologist last week and I had a pelvic ultrasound today,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, why are our bodies like so shameful, and like we shouldn't. Oh, you should never see a picture of a woman in a swimsuit who got her period and it's got everywhere.
Yeah.
You should never talk about this stuff. It should all be hidden. And
Hidden away.
yeah, and it's like, of course women are going to feel shamed, shameful or whatever. They
Ashamed.
shouldn't. I've never felt like ashamed to like share my own personal like female health things
Me
because I
neither.
just don't feel like it's shameful because it's not.
It's
It's just a
not.
body. It's like, do men feel ashamed to say that they have like prostate cancer or something? Maybe they do. I don't know. Hey,
Yeah.
existential.
I don't know. It doesn't bother me at all.
No. Oh, I have an endometrial polyp,
Oh.
and I went in and I said to the,
Mm-hmm.
clinician, I was like, I've never heard of that. 40 years old, never heard of it. I hate that there's things that I'm like, oh, now I have it. I've never heard of it. Like no one ever has talked about that. And you know what she said too? She said they're so common that if I do 20 ultrasounds in a day, 10 of the women have it. And I'm
50%
like,
of women?
yeah, and I'm like, oh, it's that common, and I've never heard of it. Okay.
Whoa.
Like,
So
and
what
that's
do you do about it?
well, I guess it just kind of live with it, and if it starts to
I
cause
see.
problems, they can do like a DNC. And I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
gross, I don't want that.
Whoa.
Y- yeah, it's basically just like a extra little piece of
Mm-hmm.
endometrial tissue that's kind of
Hanging
hanging
out.
there. Yeah.
Interesting.
But it can cause like mid-cycle bleeding, and it can cause like more blood clots and stuff like that. I don't really have like clots. That's not like an issue for me. But
Yeah.
yeah. So I was like, ooh, that's kind of freaks me out.
Yeah.
Anyways, but other than that, I don't know. My ovaries were huge. So I got big ovaries
That's
because
good.
I'm so powerful.
Mm-hmm. You're funny.
Yeah. Anyways, that was my day.
How was my day? Oh God, I had a 3-hour Zoom staff meeting this morning.
Oh yes, you said that.
Mandatory cameras on. Oh,
No,
yes.
that's lame as
Oh
hell.
my God, it sucked so bad. And these meetings could be an hour or an hour and 15, but everyone has a comment about everything. So we have to freaking sit around in feelings circle and let everyone say their damn piece. And I'm just like, I have work to do. Like, ugh,
Yeah, that's
that was
kind of
annoying.
useless.
Yeah. So that was that. My afternoon was fine though.
That's good. His work's been productive lately.
Mm-hmm. Always busy in my world of addiction and mental health.
Yes, of course. Of course. I just read a book about the foster
Ooh,
care system.
how was
And I
that?
was thinking of you as I was reading it because I know
Hmm,
that's sort of like peripherally adjacent to what you
for
do, but
sure.
not. you know, it's the
Yeah,
same
and lots
kind,
of my
it's like the
clients would
same
be.
kind of people. Yeah,
Yeah. Yep, yep, yep.
exactly. And it was kind of eye-opening because it was like the woman was saying like the author I should say was saying that like, you know, some of the kids she was a woman who has fostered like
Right.
dozens of children herself, and she adopted a few of them, but she was like some of the kids come and they've never like ever eaten healthy food ever. Like all they've
Right.
eaten is candy and soda. And they once you feed them healthy food for a few months, their appearance totally changes.
I'm sure. Oh,
And
that's so
like,
sad.
you know, they don't know how to even hold a fork or a spoon. Like they don't have the motor
Mm,
skills to like hold toy. They don't even know what toys are. They've never seen toys. Like they're just
mm,
the level of neglect and stuff is so profound. And it's just
yeah.
like, oh my God, you just never even think about this stuff.
So sad.
Yeah. And
Oh,
like even that their like facial muscles are undeveloped because they're just sitting in the corner all day or
right.
whatever.
Nobody is like making expressions at them for them to model after and stuff.
Exactly, like, they don't
Ah,
speak, they're, like, nonverbal, like, 3, 4-year-olds, you know?
oh my God.
Yeah,
It's so sad. So
and yeah, it's just ugh, like, that's a you know, losing abortion rights in this country, it's insane because
mhm.
so much more of that's gonna happen that doesn't need to, and
Yep.
it's truly, like, you can get a little existential, like, thinking about it, like, Y you know, I don't wanna say in a cruel way, like, "Oh, there are some people who would just be better if they weren't born,"
No, I know what you mean though.
but there are people who are gonna suffer from day 1 until they die, and their life is gonna be really hard and unpleasant, you know, and I think my personal philosophical take on that is and then in that case, it's probably better if you aren't born. I don't know, is it better to be born and suffer or to just not be born? That's like, paging Friedrich Nietzsche, you know?
Right? Uh,
Yeah, I know you've recommended that documentary.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
sad.
we've talked about Romania before too.
Mhm.
I'm gonna write it down again, I probably wrote it down.
Existential said we don't give enough stock to quality of life.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's not enough to just be here. And I think just people don't have I mean, I didn't before I read this book. Like this author was saying like, you know, people just think that they're like normal kids coming to you, but then it's like if they're in the foster system,
Right. It's because something fucked up caused them to get there.
yeah, it's because they were like profoundly abused or neglected.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. So, um anyways, you just don't think about it. It's like, yeah, they're not like quote unquote normal kids,
Mhm.
unfortunately. It's
Yeah.
amazing, you know, that people will give them a home and give them a chance.
I know.
I think it's really totally selfless.
Yeah. There's a woman on TikTok I've seen. I wish I could remember her account name, but she fosters primarily teenagers and primarily
Yeah.
teenage girls. And she's actually what they call like an emergency foster. So, like, she could get a call
Yeah.
at like 3 a.m. and they'll be like,
Yep.
we'll be there at 4 kind of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly. Yeah, they
But
talked about that in the book too, yeah.
yeah. And she talks on her TikTok about like she never ever makes TikToks with any of these children, just about her experience
Right, right,
doing this
right.
work.
Yeah,
And
good.
it's just like so admirable and oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Um,
Crazy.
I mean there's already so many kids out there that need help.
I
And then
know.
you're gonna create even more of that
I
rather than
know.
solving the problem that already exists. If you're
Yeah,
really
well, and
pro-life, you're really
they're just pro
pro-life. It
birth.
should
They're
real
only pro birth.
yeah, it should be pro-quality of life. I feel like
Yeah.
that's what Jesus would want. Jesus wants
Yeah.
everybody to be fed and clothed, you know?
Yeah. Mm, crazy.
Mm.
Sad.
I know you
Go
work a
life.
lot with like addiction and stuff, or like
Yeah, so
fucking
my clients are
adjacent.
all people who are, I would say 90% are experiencing homelessness and like
Yeah.
um, street drug use,
Mm.
street prostitution, sleeping outside.
Yeah.
Uh, and of course, they all are now adults who were formerly abused and neglected children, right? Like, none of my clients came from stable, loving homes. Like, that's not
Right.
how you wind up homeless, addicted, and prostituting. That's so,
Right.
yeah, it's
It,
so.
that's so tragic. And then,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah, you
it,
don't get a chance at life, really. And then you just like exist to like do drugs and survive. And then
yeah.
you overdose and die young. Actually, I
Very
mean, well,
tragic.
I know it's fucking morbid, but last week, actually, I had 5 deaths last week.
Are you serious?
Yeah, there's like a really bad batch of fentanyl going around, and
Wow.
5 last week.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, in the US it's like 130,000 a year or something like in that
Mm-hmm.
neighborhood, which is
Mm-hmm.
crazy. It's like, how many is that
Yeah, it
a
is.
day? Hundreds, thousands?
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and nobody like wants to do anything to help. Like it's just like, oh my God. I live in a very conservative area, which I've mentioned
yeah,
before.
yeah.
And it's a whole lot of just like pull up your bootstraps
I know.
and like uh well, our current government, we just had an election, and our current government is interested in like forced treatment. So like pretty much
Mm.
literally kidnapping people from the streets and like forcing them into treatment, which is crazy. But
Well, I don't know. Okay. Yeah, there was a huge conversation here about this guy in New York, you know? You must
mm,
have seen that on the subway.
yes.
Yeah, that whole
Mm-hmm.
thing. And the deinstitutionalization is came up as like a huge topic, and it's like there are some people, right, who I mean, it's not like institutions should not be what they were in the 60s and 70s or anything like that.
Right.
There's got to be a better
Mhm.
way, but there are some
Yeah.
people who
Oh, for sure. Who literally just cannot like take care of themselves in any way.
right, it's not like that guy has any quality of life on the street.
Mm-hmm.
He has no quality of life, and he's may be endangering other people who are just going
Mm-hmm.
about their day. So, is institutionalization a better,
Yeah.
option in that situation?
I don't know.
Like
There's
maybe
a
there are some cases where it is preferable.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, probably, yeah. There's a program that I've worked closely with that is harm reduction-ish,
Yeah.
where it's a place where chronically, right now it's only men because it's kind of like a pilot program, but
Uh-huh.
chronically homeless, so 10 or more years of homelessness,
Mhm.
um, can live, and they are provided a certain amount of alcohol per day.
Whoa.
Yeah,
That is
um,
wild.
I know because their homelessness is so tied to their addiction, and like they're
Right.
just chronically like, and
Whoa.
the hope is obviously to like once they are more stable with housing and that kind of thing, that maybe they will reduce their consumption. But it is an interesting concept to, yeah, because they're no longer, right, they're no longer on the streets being
Right.
probably intoxicated and
Mm.
um passing out on the street and cracking their head open or whatever, like
Mhm.
there's a, yeah, it's just a pilot program. We'll see how it goes, I guess.
Yeah, because I think a lot of social services are tied to the person being sober or getting drug tested or
Well, that's
whatever.
right. Yeah.
And then so
Yeah,
it's like, well, if you have this addiction problem, you're not going to be able to get access to those
exactly.
desperately needed services. I
Yep.
think that there is some percentage of the homeless population that like basically you can't get them into. They're so wary, if they're schizophrenic or something, they're so
Mhm.
wary of the government.
Well, I have a client who is an older gentleman in his mid to late 60s, I think, maybe early 70s.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, well, I was going to say he doesn't really use substances, but he does drink a little bit, but not to like excess, but he does drink.
Mhm.
And he has resided at our local homeless shelter for 20 years,
Mm.
and he is 100% not interested in housing.
Right.
Like I've had this conversation with him. Like he is, I don't know if he's happy, but he says he prefers the freedom to come and go as he pleases and do what he wants, and he's not
Mm.
accountable to anyone or anything. And it's
Mhm.
just interesting the different kinds of perspectives. Like certainly you have the people who just had a life of abuse and neglect and they don't know how to survive or cope in any other way. But then
Yeah.
there's people like this guy who's just like, I want to sit downtown and drink, and that's
But
it.
don't shelters also have, like, a lot of rules and stuff?
Well, that's the thing, is that's a big issue that we're experiencing right now. Is yes, the we have one shelter, um and yeah, there's no drug or
Like,
alcohol
they have
use or paraphernalia.
curfews?
Yep,
Yeah.
curfews. And people who want to use drugs and drink obviously are not interested in that. So they're
Yeah.
choosing to set up tent cities and sleep
Mm.
outside. And then you've got all the NIMBYs and yeah, so
Yeah.
there needs to be like, yes, there should be shelter or like, low income housing or whatever available to people
Mm.
who are sober or don't use. But there
Mhm.
also has to be some kind of a middle ground for people who either don't want to or are not ready to stop using. And that
Mhm.
doesn't really exist.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I don't know. I just, do the best I can, and that's that.
Yeah. I know I'm not gonna say what you do specifically, but do you point, like, people in the direction? Like, is that part of
Hmm.
your
Yeah,
work? Yeah.
definitely.
Like, you
Um,
have
like navigating the
resources.
systems and yeah, resource
Yeah.
referrals and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
For
You're sort of
sure.
like the entryway point to that
That's right.
for some
Um,
people.
hmm
Yeah, and I have a friend who's a cop and, like, I feel like, that's there's all these, like, sort of, like, touch points with these people, you know? I don't wanna say
Yeah,
these people, sorry.
I know what you mean.
Um, but, like, where they're having interactions where it's, like, anytime they have interaction with someone like a representative of the government,
Yeah,
that's, like, make that a point where they can get, like, into the system, you know what I
I
mean?
know.
And start getting a 'cause there are a lot of there's a lot of resources available that aren't, like, being taken advantage of,
Hmm.
'cause the people are just
Yeah,
not connected to them.
that's right. Or don't know it exists or whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's tough out there.
truly. What an uplifting
Oh,
conversation.
that's a great question from a radiated woman. Safe injection spaces tend to think they're a good idea. Not exactly my field. It is exactly my field.
Mm,
I am pro supervised consumption sites because they are gateways to referrals, to detox, to rehab, to housing, and people don't die. Dead people cannot recover. So
yeah.
uh, I am in support of harm reduction and safe consumption services. Um,
There are a lot of
yeah,
places that do, like, fentanyl testing and stuff. It's like they
hmm
don't make you, like, surrender the drugs. They'll just, like or they'll
test it
give
and
you
make
a
sure
test
it's
kit or
all
whatever,
good.
yeah.
Yep, Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
definitely that stuff. Like, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I've just worked closely with a lot of like harm reduction and safe consumption
Yeah.
or supervised consumption projects. Um, and it's just, yeah, I think it's a good thing because people are going to use, we're not going to
Yeah.
stop people from using drugs, but we can significantly reduce the spread of infectious diseases. Obviously, we can prevent people from dying and
Yeah.
get them connected to services should they want them.
Yep. You know what's crazy about like fentanyl and stuff?
Yeah.
So many of the people who are victims are people who they're like kids who were just experimented
Oh,
once,
yeah.
you
That's
know,
right.
because there's so much of this like counterfeit Percocet and stuff out there.
Mhm.
And that's so because like, you experimented, I experimented.
Mhm.
Most kids do to some extent.
Yes.
And like you can't even do that now. You can't even
No.
experiment. You can't just be like, "Oh, yeah, I'll take half a Percocet," because it could
Yeah.
literally like kill you.
I
You're like
know.
15 years old or whatever,
Ugh,
and you
I
have no
know.
intention. You're just. I mean, in our generation, like you experiment and then you move on with your life. I mean, like probably pretty universal that we all experimented with something,
Yeah.
and then like you just grow up to be a normal adult who's not like a drug addict. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? And but now it's like and it wasn't like there was nothing deadly like in the stream
Yeah. Yeah, not
the way
really.
fentanyl is, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, if there was maybe like something like psychedelics laced in marijuana or whatever, and that kind of thing, but nothing that would kill you.
Yeah.
Um, the way fentanyl is just so powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's so crazy too because I think about like 10 years ago in my field, like
Mhm.
sometimes I knew of a client who probably maybe did meth, but the
Mhm.
rest was primarily alcohol, honestly, and maybe some crack,
Mm.
but like the people who used crack or meth, it was like they were the vast minority. And
Right.
like now, 10 years on, it's not even crack or meth, it's fentanyl and trank, and nobody
Right.
drinks anymore. And it's just shocking to have seen over
I
the last
know.
10 years the transition.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I was like, this would be a really ignoramus thing to say, but like, are there any alcoholics anymore? Because yeah, it does
No.
seem whenever you hear, I mean, you work it with
Yeah.
addicts and stuff, like,
Yeah.
whenever you hear about addiction, it's all opioids. Because
Oh,
they're
completely.
so, I don't know about now, but I don't know about right now, but up until fairly recently, they were so easy to get your hands. I
Hmm.
mean, they're legal. They are
Yeah.
legal. I didn't say they're illegal. They are legal. They're still
Yeah.
legal with a prescription. I think
Yep.
it's much harder to get any kind of prescription, any kind of controlled prescription now.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, I can't even think of the last time I was around a client who was drunk.
yeah, that is absolutely wild.
I cannot, like, for sure, more than a year,
It
but on the nod, like daily.
Yeah, wow.
It's so, yeah, I've definitely seen the transition from there to here.
Yeah. I don't know where it was someone I was talking to or somewhere I was reading, but people who like legitimately need like say Adderall or something,
Right. Oh, can't get it.
they can't get it.
I
And
know.
those kinds of like and that sucks too, or like you legitimately need pain medication because there
Hmm.
are some people out there who do. I would say not many, but there are some who do.
Yep.
And they can't get it, or if you ask for it, you'll be labeled a, drug
A drug
seeker or
seeker.
whatever.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so weird. Like, people are not using those drugs anymore. They're like, ugh,
Oh yeah, like
like
a radiated woman says Narcan, that should just be like
standard.
everywhere. I
Yeah.
honestly I honestly think they should hand it out to high schoolers so they can all take it home and have some at their house
I
for free.
agree. Also,
D-
though, the Narcan and naloxone do not work for the drug that's going around right now called Trank,
oh yeah.
um,
Well,
xylazine.
isn't that's the that like turns you into a zombie and like your limbs
Right.
fall off, and so I don't want to laugh about that because it's
That
horrific.
one's
But
crocodile.
don't Google that.
No, do
Do
not. Those
not
pictures are
save your
horrifying.
eyeballs. Save your eyeballs. Do not Google that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but Trank is
basically,
like a opioid-like sedative, and naloxone
right.
does not reverse the effects of it. So that one's hella dangerous right now.
Awful.
Yeah, good
Awful.
times. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Yay! Super fun, happy stream.
Yeah.
No, it's wild.
Mm-hmm.
It's
That's
wild.
interesting. It's not all
Um,
sad though. Like I have really uplifting, wonderful stories from clients and experiences I've had with the work. So
yeah.
it's not all depressing and sad. It's
I
also
really think
wonderful.
addiction is one of those it's actually I think it's how most of our brains are wired,
Mm.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm addicted to the internet and
Yep.
I kind of, I really struggle with it, but at the same time, I'm so thankful that it's not drugs.
Right.
It's my drug of choice, and I don't want to be on the internet and I can't stop. I mean, it's fully like the definition of an addiction
Mm-hmm.
and it's awful. And, they do say that physiologically what the internet does to your brain is indistinguishable from cocaine.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
addicted to the internet for sure.
yeah, yeah, it's so damn addictive. They designed it just perfect. They did such a great job
I
designing it the
know.
most addictive possible way. But I've never used TikTok
Good for you.
because I watch the YouTube shorts though.
Yeah, same
And
thing.
that shit's so addictive. And
I
then it's like
know.
sometimes I'll find myself I actually just skip through them. I'll watch the first like second because I'm like
Yeah.
then
Next,
it,
next,
yeah,
next.
and I'm like looking for the thing that's gonna give me that like
The
dopamine high.
dopamine.
Yeah,
I know. I know. I regrettably do use TikTok.
I
I don't
know.
post on TikTok, but I do
I
watch
know.
TikToks. And but I don't well, and this is actually not even good. I was gonna say, but I don't ever let myself access the app until I get into bed at night. And then I
Yeah.
will watch TikToks for like an hour right before bed, which is not good, but that's the only time I do look at it.
Yeah, that's kind
Ugh,
of what I've been doing lately with like you is I just watch it at night in bed. But well, and the really bad is I need it to wake up.
mm,
That's
like
where it
coffee.
really feels like a physiological drug. Yes, it's my coffee. Like if I don't look at the internet first thing when I wake up, I feel really weird in the morning for like a few hours. Then it wears off. But like, yeah, because I do that sometimes. Like I'll leave my phone in my car or whatever, like intentionally.
Yeah.
And I feel bad. Like I feel physically, I don't feel right. That's
Yeah.
where
Like
I think like that
jonesing.
there's definitely like a physiological aspect to the phone addiction
Uh-huh.
for
Uh-huh.
sure. Well, I know it was like 2 or 3 summers ago that I was doing like screen-free Saturdays,
Oh
and I
yeah.
remember the first 2 Saturdays, I just, like, slept the whole day pretty much.
Like, what else is
Yeah.
there to do?
I'm sure, like, if I did it again now, like, tried
I
to go a
remember
whole day
that.
without looking at a screen, like, I would probably just sleep. Felt like my digestion was all weird and stuff, like
Oh, it's so messed up.
yeah. Yeah, because you're so like, dude, think about dopamine.
Hmm.
It's like the main agonist in like muscle movement or whatever. Like people have Parkinson's, they have a lack of dopamine,
Yeah.
you know? Um, so
Uh,
it's like it is like your whole body.
uh,
Uh, so yeah, TikToks are everywhere. So
mhm.
it's you can't avoid that. I mean, the YouTube Shorts is like it's TikTok. It's like saying like I don't use TikTok. It's like, well, I watch
Yeah.
YouTube Shorts. That's the exact
Same
same
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not trying to be
know.
like holier than thou or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Hazel says anxiety from FOMO. It's like you know the
I could
single
talk about
worst
this
feeling.
forever.
Hold on. Let
Yeah.
me just say this, then you can go off. Is when you stay away from the internet, you're like, I was so good. I didn't use the internet all day or whatever. And then you go on and you realize you didn't miss anything and no one tried to contact you and you have no
I
likes on your
know.
stuff or whatever. You're like, whoa, I would have spent the whole day on there literally doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even miss anything,
That
you
is a
know?
problem though with the FOMO thing because I'll be
Yeah.
like, I'll be in bed and I only really like I'm on my phone throughout the day, but like when I get to bed is when I'm really like all in, which is so bad. But I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna check Twitter and I scroll through Twitter and there's nothing good. Okay, I'm gonna go over to
Hmm.
Instagram, scroll through. Okay, I'm gonna go over to TikTok. Okay, but I should go back and check what's going on Twitter now because there could be something. And then, oh yeah, but maybe there's something now on Instagram. Like, and there never is anything.
Right.
I can't, I'll be like, I know I should get off my phone. I know I should go to bed, but I'm just going to look at Twitter one more time, or I'm just going to, like, it's so
Well, right,
stupid.
because you're seeking that thing that's
That's
gonna like
right.
give you that
Oh my God,
hit
you're
of
so right.
dopamine. Dude, when you hear people talk about drugs and like say like someone who did meth or whatever, and they're
Yeah.
like, oh, I kept using it
It's
because
never,
or
yeah,
heroin, it's the same thing. I never got that first high again.
yep,
Like they always say that, like,
yeah.
oh, you're chasing the first
The
high.
dragon.
Yeah, and it's the same thing, like,
Yes.
because I
Swapping through
know,
apps
yeah,
and
I'll
apps and
like
apps.
I'll scroll through Reddit and I'll just read like the first 2 words of every post. I'm just like looking for that post that's gonna like
Oh, you're
get me
so
high,
right,
you know?
Lisa.
But
Yes,
what's
I
the
relate so
solution?
much.
Yeah, I know you do. It
Ugh.
sucks. It's like part of me is like glad that you relate because then I feel like I'm not alone. But then it sucks. It's like I don't want either of us to live like this.
Uh huh. Ugh, it's so annoying. And it's sometimes I'll be like in bed and I'll be like fighting to keep my eyes
I
open.
know.
And I'm like, okay, but I'm just quickly like, what was that Reddit post? Or like put the fucking phone down and go to sleep. God,
I know. And
bad,
like,
bad, bad.
yeah. And I've even been like more offline
I know you're
lately.
good at doing that. I am not.
Well, it's like I am and I'm not. Like I don't know. I want to be even more offline. Well, like, okay, this is gonna sound really pathetic, but like last week, I mean, I keep track of my screen time every week. I write it down. I've been doing that it's really disgusting. I've been doing it since last August. I have it right in front of me. I just
Good
have
for
like
you.
a piece of paper with them written down. But so like I have the computer average per day per week and the phone average per day per week. So when I
Mm,
first started tracking it, I was kind of all over the place on the computer, but I was averaging like 3 hours a day on the phone, which doesn't sound like a ton, but then I'm like on the computer for like 8 or 9 hours a day. So
mm,
think about that. It's like 11, 12 hours a day. And then my lowest week ever was like 2 weeks ago. I averaged 7 hours a day, computer and
mm.
phone together. And that was because like I didn't really have any work that week. But that's 49 hours. And of what? Like I didn't even do anything. That's the thing that's crazy. It's like you look and you're like, what did I accomplish in those 49 hours? Nothing.
Yeah. I turned my screen time tracker off because I was like, if I don't see it, then
Oh,
I don't have to think about it.
I at least force myself. I mean, last week I averaged 13 hours a day.
Ugh, I'm probably around that, I'm sure.
That's pretty messed up.
Yep.
And I know there's been weeks where it's like, oh, I was at the computer for 70 hours this week and I did 15 hours of work for my job.
Right. So what
So
we're doing for
what
the
else was
other
I? And I haven't even
55?
been doing YouTube lately. I haven't been making videos or anything. I'm thinking about it, but I'm like the video that I want to write an essay and I know it's going to take me like 40 hours or whatever, something 30 something like that, just that's what it takes for me to do it the way I want to do it. And I know we always have this same exact conversation, but it's like we spent
Never
30
ending.
hours for 200 views. No, and it's like work for me now. YouTube feels like work for me. I mean, obviously this doesn't, but like to like actually make scripted videos, it's not like fun anymore. It's just like it feels like a job that I'm not getting paid for.
Yeah.
And
That's why
like,
I have stopped. Like I'm only gonna make a
yeah,
video if there's something I have to talk about.
dude, the last video that you posted was like
A month
you
ago.
believe one video.
Yeah, I know. That was something I had to talk about for
I
sure.
know. I appreciate
So,
you, but yeah, it's like, yeah, I've been trying to think about it. It's like YouTube used to be my train set in the basement, you know? Like people have a train set in the basement and it's totally elaborate and they're the only person who ever sees it, you know, and it's
yeah,
not to put it online. It's just their hobby that they love and they go to the store and they get the little parts and they put it together and everything. And
yeah.
like that used to be what it is for me, and like it just feels more like a job I'm not getting paid for. And that, and especially like when I have a job and I'm a freelancer too, so it's like I can work as much as I want or as little as I want.
Right.
Like I can spend that time making money, you know? Not that there's more, you know, I don't know. I go back and forth too because money is not really that important to me, but like, I mean, I don't have any. So I guess I should value it more. But like, I don't know, you know, I'm like, I could do my job, or I don't want to say it's like the quantity of views is what's important, but like, it really is. Well, it's always that feeling too, like, oh, I'm going to make this one video and the algorithm's going to pick it up. And I know at this point that's never going to happen.
Right.
That's never going to happen. I know that factually. I'm like fucked in the algorithm.
Mood.
So it doesn't matter what I do or what quality it is. You know, I don't think I'm amazing at making videos. I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm good enough to be getting more than 200 views or whatever. It's insane.
Yeah, you make great
But
videos. But
I mean, I work really hard at it, but I don't know, you know, I don't know what it's at this point it's not, I'm saying like I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I'm like I'm pretty sure I'm not really doing that much wrong. I'm just the algorithm is whatever.
yeah.
Anyways, whatever. We've had this conversation like so many damn times. Always comes back to this.
Yeah.
No, because I like, and you know, because you know you've seen it like when I'm really passionate about a video and I'm like
Yes.
so excited about it and stuff, and like, and I am doing it for myself more or less. It's like I want people to see it.
Yeah. That's the point.
You know, that's why I do this. And it's so frustrating to see, you know, you and I see what gets millions of views and it's fucking makeup tutorials and shit.
Yeah. And
You know?
ass shots.
Right.
Ugh.
Right. You know, my other thing, I want to do fitness. And it's like, well, I've never figured out how to do that or what to do. You know, basically, I want to start a new channel. It's just fitness. That has nothing to do with politics or anything. It's just pure fitness. But I don't want it to be like ass fitness. And that's what you have to do to be popular.
I know. Oh my god.
So, I mean, more or less.
No, you're right. You're completely right. Every like fitness video is
Even the ones that like purport to be like women's empowerment positivity, they still do ass shots and stuff. And it's like, oh, well, I can guarantee, you know, I make a solemn vow I will never do that.
Yeah.
Ever. I would never do that. I think it's disgusting.
It's so crazy.
Who's here?
Layla.
Hey, Layla.
Irene is here.
Hey, Irene. Hey, Miku. I don't think I said hi to Miku.
Yeah, Miku is here.
What do you guys want to talk about? Let's
Yeah.
get some Caffeine in the chat. What's going on? Useless says, I did try the ass fitness machine at the gym. I just to try it when there was nobody there. There's this one exercise. I don't know if you've watched much fitness YouTube, like shorts or anything, but or TikTok, but like there's this. I talked about this on my stream last week, but like there's this one exercise, and it looks like dangerous to me actually, but it's okay. Just picture this: you're leaning against. Okay, you're on the ground, right? Sitting on the ground, and
Okay.
then you kind of lean your back up on a bench. So now you're in
Okay.
sort of like a bridge with your like back resting on the bench and then your
Like your
knees.
upper shoulders.
Yeah. And
Okay.
then you have a barbell going across your waist.
Oh, the hip thrusts.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I've seen those.
Right. I'm like, I was a personal trainer too. I don't remember that exercise ever. They say as a
Yeah,
personal trainer,
it's
you're supposed to know 1,000 different exercises. And I'm like, that's not one I ever came across. And that's literally what most of women's fitness is on YouTube.
yeah, I've seen those lots, but I don't remember seeing them in years past either. And
And
for
I'm,
what? What's it
because I
for?
guess it gives you a big butt,
Oh,
but it's like, oh, irradiated says, yeah, from what I hear, YouTube penalizes in the algorithm creators who don't post on a very regular schedule at least once a week, same day of the week, yada yada silly. I just can't. Oh my God.
I know. I used to every single
I
Tuesday at 9.
know you were so good.
And it yeah.
I haven't posted in over a month.
Yeah, same. This is
I've done
probably
a
my
I've,
first stream in the same amount of time, I
yeah,
think.
I've done a couple streams to
Yeah.
varying degrees of success, but um yeah,
Ooh, my last stream I think was in April. I don't think I did it all in May.
that's pretty wild. Yeah,
My
today I
last
was
one was
like,
April
oh, we need to
26th.
get you like back
back
in
on
front of
the
an
back on the
audience.
internet. I'm your Twitter dealer and you're my YouTube dealer.
That actually might be true. The other day you sent me something. I think you sent me something from Twitter and then I spent a little bit of time on Twitter. That's the only time I
Uh-huh.
ever spend time on Twitter is like when you send me something and then I'm like, let's see what Twitter's up to. I like Twitter doesn't even occur to me. Like Twitter's like my McDonald's. Like I just don't see it as it's not my drug of choice, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um
Twitter has to be so carefully curated or else it's a total shit fest.
it kind
But
of is anyways though.
oh yeah, I know. But like so I have a Radical Ramblings Twitter and I don't really do anything there ever except for posting links to when I'm going live with you.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
do have a personal Twitter account that I have curated so carefully that is actually enjoyable for me. And I do not go out of those boundaries.
Yeah. Hazel says, hate to say it, but Twitter could give you a little boost in views. It seems to be a lot of terps. I just don't. Can I say something? Can I
Spicy?
say something? I don't know. It's spicy, but I don't want to have anything to do with terps.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Because, yes,
Because
there
what
are
it
a
is
lot of.
now, what turf
Right.
means now, I don't mean our audience.
Right. There's
Because
a
I
lot
don't
of.
even,
Mhm.
what is our audience is turf adjacent or something, but it's kind of become kind of really poisonous, right?
Right. Well, and that's the thing is, yes, there are a lot of women on Twitter who are purported turfs or whatever, gender
Right.
criticals.
I don't think they have
But
anything to do with our content, though.
correct, they're not what I would call radical feminists. In
Right. Well, first of all, like trans is I'm actually going to talk about on my stream on Friday, but it's kind of a very small percentage of what you and I talk about. And then
yeah,
there are certain people that's all they talk about and all they care about,
right.
and I'm like there's like a wide world out there, you
Yeah.
know?
And yeah, when it comes to like internet women who care about these issues, it's like the focus is entirely on trans ideology. And I do care about that stuff, but it is a very, like you said, a very small percentage. And so,
Well, like
yeah,
existential says turf's coming from a left-leaning rad from perspective as a
right.
minority. I mean, who else? besides us.
I know.
Right?
I know. And that's not like we're not like tooting our own horn here at all. It's just
No.
we have a you and I have a kind of perspective that aligns very well with each other,
Right. And
and
that's pretty much it.
we don't really find it elsewhere.
Right.
Um, except for these chats, right? Like,
Right. Our chat
yeah,
for
but
sure.
I'm not
Yeah.
really interested in like expanding to Twitter because I don't have anything in common with a lot of them.
Right. Yeah. It's just, and I feel like oh God, I said I would like never do this. I'm not really doing it, but like the whole, oh, I don't want to have anything to do with feminism. You know what I mean? Because it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, obviously I still believe all the same stuff I do. And I would always use the label feminist to
Mm-hmm.
describe myself, but people have really made that like kind of,
Like
you
a
know, and
bad
that's kind of
word.
the point, isn't it? Right?
Yeah.
That's what they want. Like to be like, oh, feminists are so toxic. So then people who actually are feminists get scared to talk about feminism.
Right.
That's the whole point of anti-feminism.
Yeah. Ugh.
But yeah, existential says like we said
Yeah.
they're not gender critical or trans critical.
Yep.
Yeah, and also I will say even you and I talked about this like a week or whatever ago, sometime recently, that one idea I had, I just come up with video titles. I don't like actually have
Right.
ideas for videos.
I love
No,
it
but
though.
the title was compassionate gender critical.
Mm.
And the idea was that even these TERFs and trans critical people, they have like they don't have any, or they don't display any compassion. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that most so-called trans people are actually desperately in need of compassion, and that would actually solve a lot of the issues,
Mm.
is if they, flood those people with compassion. Yeah, there's it's ma'am and stuff, like whatever. That's a tiny fraction of those quote unquote those people.
Yeah.
I think most of them are really, they're desperate, and it comes from a place of desperation and sadness and alienation from your own body and stuff like that. Anyone who's going through that, I feel a lot of empathy and compassion towards. And I think that's another reason, like distancing myself or ourselves from like turfs or whatever,
Yeah.
is that it's a lot of just like making fun of people. I don't believe in that at all.
Yeah.
Zero.
I am not
I know you don't either.
not into that. Um. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just not where my direction is, where my heart is. Obviously, I
Right.
care about the issues that women face
Yeah, of
because of the trans
course.
ideology,
Of course.
but I don't need to talk about that in every video and every stream that I do. And
Right.
I got other things to talk about.
I know there's so much else that's like woman oriented. I feel like with my streams, I've been trying to just pick out a like slice of life type story
Yeah,
that sort of reflects like, oh, we
women's
just had like
experiences.
thunder here. I don't know. Probably can
Ooh,
hear that. But yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like a little slice of life that like maybe can reflect on, I love reading biographies and autobiographies of women and stuff because I really feel
hmm,
like, when you listen to somebody else tell their story, you can kind of find things out about yourself or about
agreed,
life.
agreed.
So, a woman says ultimately it's a symptom of a lot of people hurting.
Yeah,
Yeah, and women, let's see, there's a lot of panicking, hand wringing. I don't like too. There's a trans waiting behind every bush should jump out at a woman. I obviously don't like men and women's faces, but geez, I agree. And
yeah,
I think that does come from a place of conservatism. And I was thinking about something else like Pride Month, like people, like there should be more acceptance of, say, like gender bending or whatever.
right. Feminine men and masculine women.
Yeah. Yeah. Although, my issue with
Hmm.
feminine men of like
Oh, I know.
purchasing makeup and what about blah, blah, blah,
I
whatever.
know.
But like I think maybe if we had accepted that more in the first place,
Right.
the trans stuff would have just like never happened, because it's, obviously trans is so regressive, and conservatism is so regressive.
Uh-huh.
Dude, if I lose power or something, just, if I suddenly disappear, no, because it's like really getting thundery here. But
Ooh.
anyways, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you're right
I don't
about that
know.
though.
I I want everybody to be happy, and yeah, useless says wear your clothes, not men's clothes, not women's clothes, your clothes. Yeah, clothes should be less coded. Hey, look, there was a time where women only wore dresses, and if you wore pants, people would literally think that you were a man.
Yeah. Or you'd get arrested for wearing pants.
Yeah. I
Crazy.
think we should be like super accepting of the way you and I read that article, that Rose Rickford article about where she said something like, like woman face or whatever.
Uh-huh.
That idea of like, oh, men are so bad because they're wearing woman face. It's like, well, what's woman face's makeup? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
That you're saying like that's what womanness is?
yeah,
Wearing makeup and dresses?
right. I think
That's
that we
pretty
should, yeah,
reductive.
exactly. It's like this conservative idea is as reductive. It's so weird. Bye, useless. Um,
Bye.
it's so weird that like the trans thing and the conservative thing actually just have so much in common.
Yeah. Like very horseshoe theory.
It is. I think
Dresses
that's,
are for
I don't know if
girls.
that's another reason, because I feel like our perspective in this has gotten kind of pushed out or like marginalized or something, you know what I mean?
Hmm.
The majority of the, I don't know, I haven't been on Over It in a long time,
Me
but
neither.
I know seeing that stuff on there of that really conservative type
Yeah.
thinking.
Yeah. Well, and we've
And
talked
it's
about this too. Like, conservatives, women do the dishes, but with
right.
gender people, it's the person who does the dishes is the woman.
Exactly.
Like, it's two sides of the same coin.
Exactly. Totally.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wish there was more space to have. I mean, you and I have created our own space to talk about this
Yeah.
stuff, so that's good.
Yep.
And we use it very occasionally. But like I do wish more people were talking about it the way we talk about it. Did you hear about Steven Crowder? I
I
know who
barely even know who he is. I've heard his
I
name, but I don't actually know who he is. So,
he's like a Matt Walsh type. Like he's a conservative
okay.
podcast
Yeah.
guy.
Okay. What about him, Layla?
Yeah, I haven't heard about him. I heard the Matt Walsh documentary. I haven't seen it. You saw it.
I did.
I won't out you, but you liked it because that is a thing.
Well, it was
You thought there was
fine. Yeah,
good
it was
aspects to
good.
it.
Um, I will admit also last night I watched a Matt Walsh clip because he had
Uh-huh.
on one of the UPenn swimmers who was coming forward finally and revealing herself. She had spoken out
Oh,
anonymously, but she was on last night
oh,
and she
okay.
revealed herself. And
Good
I
for
watched, yeah, to see
her.
what she had to say, and she was a very well spoken, eloquent young lady.
Yeah,
So
that's the other thing. That's the only people platforming people who
that's
have
right.
anything to say are conservatives. Sucks.
He was screaming at his pregnant wife. That's fucked up.
Yeah,
Stephen Crowder
very.
was. Who's Canadian? Stephen Crowder or Matt Walsh?
I think Matt Walsh is American.
I thought so too. Stephen Crowder. Oh, American Canadian commentator. Oh
Hmm.
no. What is his ties to Canada? I have to find out right now. I bet it's Alberta. Born in Detroit. Oh, his mother was French Canadian. Never mind.
Oh, interesting.
Wait a second. Now I'm reading this guy's Wikipedia. At age
Yeah.
12, he was the voice actor for the character The Brain on the show Arthur.
Weird.
Whoa.
That's wild.
That is.
Pretty random.
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah. I basically like haven't really been following any of the
me neither.
trans
I don't know
news or
who any of these
anything.
people are.
Yeah. I really, I haven't really been looking at much feminist stuff at all.
Yeah.
Kind of just been
Um,
watching like fitness YouTube, and I read the New York Times a little bit.
uh-huh. A
I
little
haven't been
bit.
reading
Get
it.
out
I
of here.
haven't been reading it as much actually.
Hmm.
I read Reddit. I'm spending more
Yep.
time on Reddit, I feel like, lately.
I actually have been as well. And
That's so interesting because you were never really big into Reddit, were you?
not really. Like, I had my go to subs that I would read, and I
Yeah.
still
Like, what do
do,
you
but I
read?
have been No
I mean,
Stupid Questions. I
oh,
love that
interesting.
one. And Ask Reddit is always good. And I like,
You read like big
um,
subs.
yeah, well, also another one that is crazy. It's called Insane Parents. And it's like screenshots of conversations with like people's insane parents. And so that's always good for a laugh.
Uh-huh.
But then lately I have been just like scrolling through the homepage and seeing
Yeah.
what's interesting.
Mm. Illegally Small Cats is one of my favorites.
What is that?
They're just like kittens, really cute.
Oh, okay, now I
It's
have to look.
illegally SMOL cats. I'm just looking
Illegally
through my Reddit at like
small.
what I follow now that we're talking about it. I've been reading Stupid Poll again,
Uh,
which is like I'm kind of remembering why I stopped reading it
right.
because they're really kind of obnoxious on there. But you know, they see feminism as a form of identity politics,
Yeah.
like even just normal, even radical feminism. There's a lot of men on there who think that rad femmes are sort of just hate men, and that's like your whole thing. Oh, like the whole feminists, they want to be superior. Oh, feminism was okay when it was about equality, but feminists now they want to be superior at the expense of men. It's like,
Yeah, men think like having to lose 0.5% of a privilege point is suddenly an affront to their entire existence.
right,
Ugh.
exactly.
Also, I don't want to be superior. Like, oof, I want men to leave us alone.
I know. I know.
Oh,
Actually, I
sad.
saw. Let me see if I saved it. I save comments on there sometimes when people
Me
say
too.
something good.
I do too.
Yeah. But I saw one that was like, most women just want to kind of be left alone, like most feminists or whatever, most separatists, radical feminists, whatever.
Yeah.
I don't. I had a troll actually the other day. I streamed with my brother. I don't think you were there
Oh,
on Sunday.
yeah. I was doing stuff
We
on
Yeah,
Sunday.
we've been streaming this. Oh, so much fun. The rest of the day I kept saying to my brother, that was so much fun. That was so much fun. But it was like, 10 people were there or whatever.
Oh, good.
But we've been streaming this game, The Quarry. Probably stream it next weekend too. It's like a horror game. Anyway, so some troll was like, "Oh, look, it's the separatist with a man."
Yeah, some of us have male relatives. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, and then my brother is so, this is just like how he is. He just thinks everybody, he's not really internety the way we are,
Right.
and like he thinks everybody's nice. And so
Oh.
he was like, "Yeah, I'm her brother." Like he was super
Oh,
like,
Brad.
yeah. And I was like, that's a troll,
Oh,
you
it's
know?
like so innocent and pure.
I know. I know he was like, "Oh yeah, it's me.
That's so
Hi."
cute.
I know he
So
says like
funny.
hi to everybody and
I
stuff.
know.
I
That's
know
so
it's like,
funny.
yeah, like he gets very excited about doing it. But
Oh.
yeah, he's like really wholesome. I know that's the thing that
Really?
like people have expectations. I actually haven't used
Yeah.
the word separatist to describe myself in like probably 2 years or something. I
Yeah.
don't really care. It doesn't really, that's not like
Right.
a label I'm attached to in
I
any way at
know.
all. It's like essentially that's what I am in ways. I don't
Right.
know. In
A
other ways, I'm
separatarian,
not,
like a
I guess.
pescatarian.
Se- Separatarian. Yeah, I kind of like that. I'm going my own
Trademarked.
way.
Yep.
I'm a
That's right.
failed WGTOW who's trying to be reborn.
Yeah, we're all trying our best out here, okay? We all live in a
We really are.
society.
Yeah, we do. Why so the
Yeah,
chat got really quiet, or
I
is it
know.
my thing?
No, it's quiet.
No?
It's
Oh,
okay though.
good. I like it when it's just us anyways.
I know.
So,
Yeah.
do you miss using Canva?
You know, kind of. And I was so sad that that premium one we found.
Oh, did
Um,
something happen to it? Because I went
yeah, I
back to
couldn't.
using
I tried
my
to use
regular
it
one.
tonight to quickly make a little thumbnail,
Oh,
and it was like
it
your
was
payment
nice while
lapse. It was,
it
but
was
I'll
nice
find a
while
way
it
into a new one.
lasted. Yeah.
That's so funny.
When we were using it a lot, it probably would have been worth it.
I
I mean, there was
know.
a time when I was using Canva hours a day.
I know. Oh my god, I loved it. It was so fun. I am a Canadian in Canada, and Lisa is American in America.
Americant.
American. But I
I'm
live
a
in
cur-
Western Canada. Lisa's in Eastern
I'm a
USA.
cursed American, and Radical has access to universal health care.
Yeah. Well, not
Bitch.
for long with the new government or the government we have now. That won the election
um.
last week.
No.
She's a nightmare.
No, you'll be okay. That's
She's
the
an
one thing
evil,
they're not
evil,
going to
evil
take from
woman.
your. Ugh, isn't it worse when women are evil? It's
Oh my
worse.
gosh,
Men, it's expected.
she's truly evil. She's an evil, evil person.
That's not great.
Yeah. So that sucked. But I was gonna say something about, I don't remember.
Canada.
Not really. Oh, you know what I watched for the first time recently? Like
What?
last week? Week before? The musical Hamilton.
That is so funny because I watched it like a week or two ago, just
Really? I
totally
watched
out of the
it
blue. Yes.
last maybe 2 Thursdays ago.
And how did you find Hamilton? Because I used to be like a big Hamill fan.
Okay, so I'd obviously heard of it and I knew
Okay,
generally what it that it was about Alexander
but you didn't
Hamilton and
really know the music and stuff.
no,
Yeah,
not at all. I had
Hazel
never heard
says
of.
Hamilton is so good.
I really
It's so
enjoyed
good.
it because like I just
Okay.
liked the subversion of like the different, actors of color,
Yes.
and obviously in a hip hop format and not like a quote unquote musical format. I thought it was well done. It's on Disney Plus. That's where I watched
Yeah.
it. It was
Yeah.
good. Yeah, I enjoyed
Yeah.
it.
Irene says, "Stop. I was going through a Hamilton phase." Yeah, me too. Like I was just that's so random.
Yeah, I'm not
I
gonna
saw it
in
in the
like.
theater.
Oh, very good.
Yes,
I'm
I
not gonna have a Hamilton phase. Like I watched it and it
no,
was good and I
I got
appreciated it.
I got you. Whatever. I'm geeking out for a
It's
second.
okay. Go go go.
Um, I went to school with Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I just feel so jealous that he got so much talent.
Mm-hmm.
He's so talented.
Very much so. Yeah, no, it was great.
Like, um, the music. So I listened to the sound. Like I knew every word of the soundtrack before I went to see it, and
Okay.
then when I went to see it, I was like, yeah, that was okay. Because I just think the music is like 95% of it so
Yeah,
good.
it's
It's so
very good.
clever. There's so many like little
I
clever
know
references and stuff.
he's a great writer. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very
Pretty
clever.
amazing.
Yep.
Miku says I didn't watch Hamilton for the longest time because everyone at my school was annoying about it.
That's probably why I hadn't seen it until just last week too, because I was like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's.
whatever. That was
Is
good.
there anything else good on Disney? I have Disney too. I have Disney, Netflix, Amazon, HBO.
Well, I want to watch the Smiley Happy People or whatever the hell it's called,
Oh
the
yeah,
other
yeah.
cult one on
That's on
Amazon.
Amazon. Yeah,
On
Black
Disney, I don't
Obsidian
really
posted
watch.
about that.
Yeah, okay. Good, good, good. I haven't really watched anything on Disney Plus in a while. No, I can't think of anything that I really watch on there.
I
I mooch
think
off of Fox account.
TV could be like my methadone. TV and video games because it's not,
Right.
it's not my drug of choice. That would
Yeah.
be YouTube.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
and like I have trouble, my attention span basically sucks.
mhm.
And then like,
Yeah.
well, I've talked to you, I tried to watch that dating show and I watched a couple episodes and that was it.
Yeah.
And then
Love is Blind.
I watched that crime show. We talked about that. And it just,
That one was
I watched
good. That one
what
was
was it?
good.
It was
I can't remember.
called I can't either. They're in South Carolina
It's
or
something about
something.
missing or murdered. What the hell was
Oh,
it called?
Dead or Alive.
Dead or
Missing, Dead or
okay.
Alive. Okay, can we talk about that show for a second since you
Yeah,
watched
it
it
was
and I
good.
watched it? Okay, I thought it was like pretty watchable, but
I
it was
agree.
also just so like so seemed really fake and staged and like very hokey, and like how they show up at the guy's house and she's like using her phone as a flashlight and stuff, which I'm like, you're a
Yeah.
cop, like cops have like real flashlights, and it just seemed like they were, the outcome of that one or whatever, but it's like
Hmm.
they're just kind of touching the evidence, no potential evidence, like no gloves, just like doing all these kinds of like things that it's just like, god damn, this seems really staged, but like you're supposed to believe that they like had embedded a camera crew,
Hmm.
I don't know. Like as a narrative, it just seemed like it's I've read a lot of like old ladies solve a crime kind of
Right.
books, cozy mysteries, and like it seemed like that
Hmm.
kind of like watch these old ladies solve a crime.
Well, okay. When it comes to watch these old ladies solve a crime, I super
Mhm.
recommend on Netflix The Keepers, which is a
Okay.
docu-series about these older ladies in their 60s or 70s who their beloved high school teacher went missing when they were like in the 1950s or 60s.
Whoa.
And yeah, and these women who are now in their 60s or 70s are like still doing everything they can to find out what happened to their favorite teacher at school, and
Wow.
the law enforcement are dropping the ball and they're on the case. It's very good, but also for anyone who may look into this, trigger warning for religious trauma, Catholic
Mm.
church shit, as you can imagine what
Mm.
goes down in the Catholic Church.
Interesting.
But I
The
found it
Keepers.
very good. The
That's on
Keepers.
Netflix.
It was when I watched it, so I'm sure
Okay.
it's still there.
Yeah, you and I both watched that the axe thing, the
The axe
hatchet,
thing. The hatchet.
the hatchet guy.
What?
The hatchet guy. I talked to you about
I have
that.
no idea what you're talking about.
Oh my god, that hatchet guy.
What hatchet guy? Oh, the
The
hitchhiker
Canadian
guy.
guy. Yeah, the
Right. Okay.
hatchet
Yes.
wielding hitchhiker.
Hitchhiker. Yes. 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 We both
That
watched
was a
that. That
wild.
was
That was
wild and
just,
sad.
it's like I just feel like Netflix quality leaves something to
Mm.
be desired. You know,
Some of their docuseries are
like
really good, I think, like
they
The
go like
Keepers.
75% of the way there.
Well, here's what I'll say. I
When
think
this shit up.
their docuseries used to be phenomenal. Like when
Right.
you think about The Keepers or Making a Murderer or
Right.
some of the other ones, the Gabriel Fernandez one, I can't remember what it was called. But then with the explosion of popularity of true crime, it's like they want to churn them out now and they're not as good
I
anymore.
know.
But the other ones were phenomenal, I thought.
It's like the producers and Re the Little Mermaid, that one terrible song is getting so much flack. I'm not
I saw
aware.
the oh my gosh. Okay, so with the new Little Mermaid, I saw like a lot of commentary about just how dark the film is, like visually dark, not like
Oh,
thematically. Like it's
okay.
just hard to see shit because it's so dark.
Oh, that's
And
super annoying.
yeah, but oh my god, people are turning around to say that that's a racist comment, and it's like, no, they're talking
It's
about how
not.
it's visually dark, not the mermaid is played by a black girl. Like, oh Lord,
Wait, what did Lin-Manuel Miranda have to do with The Little Mermaid?
did he write a
Did he
song
write a
for it?
song for it? I'm guessing.
Yes, we are talking about Netflix.
Yes, existential get started. Didn't like Hamilton. What
Oh, he wrote
existential?
some of
What
the
was your
new
grievance?
songs.
What was your grievance with Hamilton? I'm just out of curiosity. It's okay. I'm. You cannot like it. We can still be friends. I know some of the. I guess I don't know. Some of the historical details are not totally accurate or whatever. I don't
Oh,
know.
I'm sure, but there's got to be some creative
I will
licensing,
say
right?
when I watched Hamilton, I should be a little clear that I only watched the first act.
Oh,
The other week. Obviously I've seen
it's hella
the whole
long.
thing. It's hella long, and I just think the first act is so good just on
It
its own.
is.
And
It is.
there's good songs in the second half, but it's like the Revolutionary War. It's so exciting and it's just so
Mm-hmm.
meaningful and poignant and everything. And then it's like, okay, we're just like in New York now, like doing government shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of more boring or something. I don't know. Anyways, random. How long do you want to go for?
Um.
You want to do
Whatever.
a little more?
Yeah, a little more.
I'm pretty
I
free.
gotta change my laundry over soon because it finished about an hour ago.
Because you're an adult who does laundry?
Sadly. Ooh, what problems that will not age well?
I, you know, I don't know.
You
I don't know what
know,
else I have to say about Hamilton. I like it. It's clever. It's not like hardcore rap.
no hip hop.
Like it's like hip hop that old people like. I don't know. The racial aspects will not age well.
Meaning,
Interesting.
like them casting people of color to play white people, or
Like it's gimmicky or something. You know, or it's like it's using people of color to tell this
I
story about
see.
slave owners. I don't know.
I
I guess. Okay, existential. Netflix, it was the queen of TV, but now it turns out garbage, or it starts a great series and then cancels before payoff. Like if something isn't a Stranger Things, immediately they axe it. Oh, glamorizing slave ownership for sure. Yeah, the origin of our country is super problematic.
yeah.
Um, What was I gonna say? You don't have HBO though, do you?
No, I used
Do you
to,
have any?
but I do not any
Hmm.
longer.
Yeah, there was something I was gonna mention that I watched on there, but I totally can't remember. Oh, the Jinx. Did you see that?
Oh my God,
Robert Durst.
loved.
I
That
think
is such,
that's probably the one of the best because I thought Making a Murderer had issues. I thought it was good, but the
I think the
Jinx is just
Jinx is
it's probably the best of its
incredible.
genre. Yeah,
If anyone in the chat is going to
unbelievably good.
consider watching the Jinx, do not look anything up at all. Please go in
Yeah,
100% blind. It's
totally.
you will
Well, and a
never,
lot has happened since that.
yeah,
Is Robert
yeah.
Durst still alive? Did he die?
I feel like he died maybe 2 or 3 years ago.
I feel like he did too. Like he died during COVID or something. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, to that last year, January 2022.
Yeah, interesting. It was 78.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
don't
documentary
look it
was
up. But yeah,
incredible.
amazing. Just like
Amazing.
you feel like you're on a ride, you know?
Yes, and the final payoff at the end. Ah!
Yeah. Well,
Like
because
I
you're
was
kind of discovering
screaming
things
at my TV
along with the
in real
filmmaker too.
time.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, exactly. I love that when the filmmaker kind of inserts themselves and
Yes,
like
and they started out with
yeah,
they started out with the intent
no,
of doing one thing and then it became something else entirely because of
exactly.
things they've discovered along
Things
the
they
way. Oh
discovered.
my God. It's very exciting and exhilarating, and
Yeah,
I think it's the cream of the crop when it comes to these kinds of like true crime documentaries. Wow,
totally agree. Did you
I want
listen
to
to
watch
that
it again.
podcast with the Serial? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, about Adnan Saeed.
Yeah. I think I
Yeah.
listened to like one episode of that when it first came out, but I did not follow like the story at all. But I know a lot
Oh,
of
I
like
listened to the whole
shit went
thing.
down with it. Did they like freed the guy or something?
His conviction was overturned in earlier this year, I think. But that's like the kind of I don't know, people say that's like the cornerstone of the podcasting world, but I
Right.
disagree. I think In the Dark, the case of Curtis Flowers is I can't even
Hmm.
and it's also like that kind of real time investigation. Things are happening in real time and you just cannot believe where they wind up. I think that is probably the greatest podcast I've ever listened to. And I listen to about 8 hours of podcasts a day. So
I know you really. Um, I haven't listened to that many podcasts. I really liked the Dropout, the Elizabeth Holmes Theranos.
oh
You should
yes,
you should listen to that if you haven't.
I should. I
It's
have not.
really good. Oh, it's super good. Sh She just went
Okay.
to prison for 11
Oh, did
years.
she? I knew that they were trying to like.
She
Did
showed
you
up.
talk about that on stream?
I've talked about her. I have a particular interest in her, and I've always wanted to do a video about her and about how Theranos was like a legitimate cult because I think it would,
Yeah,
if it literally checks every single box of a cult. I know we talk about things and it's like, oh, that's cult-like, but
yeah,
like she
but
was a legitimate woman running a cult, which is like one of the rarest things in the world. And so she
yeah,
totally fascinates me because I
but didn't the
wonder,
New York Times just do like a big fluff piece about her and how she's a mommy now and she
yes,
shouldn't go to
I did
prison
a
because she's Elizabeth the
right.
mummy?
I did a community post about that, and then she showed
Oh,
up
okay,
to
maybe that's
prison
where I
like
saw
a
it.
week later or something. So yeah,
Mm,
she's in prison now. She showed up crying. But
well,
you what do they say? Fuck around and find out. Play stupid games, win stupid
win stupid
prizes.
prizes.
But
Fucked
yeah,
around and found
I've
out.
always that's like another thing where it's like if I could snap my fingers and have the video that I want to do about her just done and not have to put in 50 hours of work, I would just do it. But
Yeah,
because I feel like I have so much to say about because it's so rare, like a female cult leader. I also, like, I made a post about cults last night, and I was just thinking, like, what is it like when you come across one of those people? Like,
Mm,
those people who can just draw people in. I know I've
yeah.
encountered one person like years ago, but he was like benevolent, he was just a good
Mm,
guy. And he was not
right.
trying to be a cult leader, but I was like, I would have given my life for him. I really would.
Well,
I
it's
would have
like too,
died
like,
for this guy.
oh man.
Not a boyfriend. He was like my
Yeah.
mentor. Yeah, but
Oh,
he was just he was like a good person.
interesting.
He didn't take advantage of that.
Right.
And I think about that like kind of often, like, you know,
Well, I think
it's kind of
about
what
one
you
of
said.
our favorite cult topics to talk about, Heaven's Gate,
Oh.
and how so many of their followers, like of T and Doe, Marshall and
Mhm.
Bonnie were their real names, um, all had the same story. Like the first time they ever like heard them talking, they were like, all these followers were like, I just knew in that moment, and they literally up and left their entire lives for the next 40 years.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Mhm. Look at like Jim Jones. I know you've listened to
Well, yeah. Oh boy, have I.
um he got
The
like
tapes.
900 people to KTS.
Yeah. KTS. Yeah.
Um and their kids
Not all of them
drinking
went willingly, but
drinking
a lot of them did.
Kool-Aid.
It wasn't
Yeah,
Kool Aid.
basically Flavor Aid.
Yeah.
I know. I'm hip.
Crazy.
But yeah, it's like, but I'm saying, like, I have encountered someone like that, you
Mm,
know? So I just kind of got lucky that that person didn't want to like ruin my life,
yeah.
But also, like, I've been going to this yoga teacher's class. It's a woman. She's young too. She's like, I don't know, late 20s or something. And she's such a good yoga teacher.
Good.
And I don't have any relationship with her at all. Like, she knows who I am because I go to her classes.
Yeah.
But like, I'm like, if she started a cult, I would join it because she's that good of a yoga teacher.
Oh man. Isn't there a
You know
documentary on
what I
Netflix
mean?
about a yoga cult?
Probably. I actually had
So
I
curious.
had a video back when I used to do vlogs. I went back and watched it last night actually. Um, because when I first what was before okay, I used to live up here before years ago, and then I moved away and then I moved back here. But when I first moved up here years ago, I started doing yoga at this place, and this is kind of a funny story actually. When I first started going to yoga there, I didn't know like anything about it, anything about the people around here, anything. Okay. Oh, Bikram. Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Um, and so I go to the studio and they were having like, they have, yoga studios have like little special events and stuff.
Yeah.
So they were having this group and it was like a a philosophical discussion group. Okay, there's your
Okay.
first like red flag,
Uh-huh.
right?
Uh-huh.
And they're looking for people who are seekers and
Uh-huh.
who want
Seekers.
to, yeah, and who want to like explore consciousness and
Oh boy.
yeah. And I'm like, dude, this is everything I'm into, right? I'm like an existentialist, like I'm very into like expanding, just thinking about the universe in like different ways and stuff. I
Right.
was even way more so back then. I was like really into existentialism and stuff for real.
Hmm.
I mean, I still am. Anyways, so I went to this thing and it was the two leaders and me and one other person. It was so fucking
Oh boy.
awkward. Like nobody showed up. I
Oh
was
boy.
expecting to be like a whole room full of people. So we're all just we just talk for like an hour or whatever. I don't know, it was like an hour or 2 hours. And nothing they said made any sense. It was all just like
It's
total
nonsense.
like gibberish,
Yeah.
nonsense. And they gave me this book, and I tried that they had written. It was a guy and a girl. They were young too. They were like, I don't know, in their 20s,
Oh,
early 30s or something. And and then they gave me this book, and I went home and I tried to read it again. It was like it was total like gibberish. I don't think I kept it either because I kind of wish I had though. But and then they invited me like and then they just like reached out to me by email. You know, it wasn't like through this yoga studio or anything. And they invited me to they were like, "Oh, it's we're getting together a few people at our friend's house." And I looked it up and it was like this weird like a mansion, like,
oh my
you know,
God,
with a
Lisa.
long ass driveway, like in the middle of kind of nowhere. And um and they were like, it'll be like a little pool party and then we'll have a discussion and whatever.
Ah,
And I was like, should I go? Oh, it was also in this area where there's no cell reception at all. Like
oh
zero
my
cell phone
God.
reception. And
This
they
is a
and they
cult.
sent me like a few emails and they were like, "Love to have you there. You're so interesting and the things you said at our meeting were just so enlightening and like all this stuff. You're just the perfect like
Oh my
person we want to
God.
have at this gathering." It was a really kind of love bombing, you know.
Yeah,
And then
that is
so
creepy.
I posted about it on Instagram stories. This is like 2017 or so. I posted about it in Instagram stories, and then one of my friends was like, "Don't go to that. That
No
sounds like some
kidding.
human trafficking shit or something." And
Oh.
then what's funny is these people had been like a part of this yoga community, I guess. And then after that,
Mm.
they vanished.
Lisa,
Yeah,
oh my
because
God, you dodged a
I
bullet.
stayed going to this yoga. Yeah, it was very. Hmm. Oh yeah, Existential went to Kripalu. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, I feel like Kripalu is one of those things that people from the outside would be like, "That's a cult." I don't think, you know, it's just like I want to go there. I've never been there before, but just like a
I've
cool
never
place
heard
people
of
do
it.
yoga.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like in the mountains in Massachusetts.
Hmm.
Just like a big yoga retreat place. But
Hmm.
anyways, so that was my little story about
Almost being recruited into a cult.
brush with a cult. But the thing is, I don't think they were really like I think they were trying to start a cult.
Right.
They
Oh my
really didn't
God.
have that charisma. That was the thing they were missing. No charisma. Very awkward. You have to have charisma. Existential
Certainly.
says the conversations I overheard in Kripalu were wild. Now I'm very curious. I mean, I think yoga does there's a lot of seeker type people, of which I am one, you know. I actually said,
Yeah.
I don't know if I told you this. I went to yoga last night and I told the yoga teacher that after class I go, during Shavasana, I felt like I was high because
Right.
I did. And she was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Thanks for that.
Yeah, I think she's kind of weird, so I think she took it as a compliment. I just felt like everything was aligned in the universe, you know what I mean?
Totally. That's very good.
Yeah,
I'm glad. I don't
I'm
think
glad
I've
you're
ever
glad.
been any kind of a brush with a cult.
That's good.
Yeah,
I feel like
dodged it.
I wonder if maybe you have and you didn't realize because
Maybe.
you're not
Yeah, not like, yeah, potentially susceptible. I
right.
don't know.
Well, that's the thing though, and that's like what I was posting about last night is I really do think like probably most people are. Not everybody though. You know that experiment where it's like oh my god. There's like 2 lines and one is longer than the other. And then they have like
No.
4 people in a row. They like ask them which line is longer. And then they have 4 people in a row be like, it's A,
No.
when clearly B is longer. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You don't? Okay, so it was like this famous experiment from the 70s.
Okay.
I think the 70s or 60s. And they okay. Like Google it. Hold on. I
The
want
Ash
to
line
give you the
study.
name.
The Ash
Yeah, it's a specific
conformity experiments.
Ash. That's what it is. Solomon Ash.
Okay. Yep.
ASCH. Right. So basically they have 5 people or whatever, but only the 5th person is the test subject, but they don't know that. They think everybody there is a test subject, and so they have the first 4 people all say the wrong answer. That's clearly wrong. They get to the 5th
Okay.
person, and 80% of the time the 5th person will agree with the
With
group
the 4?
even though they can
Oh,
see. Yes. Only 20% of the
interesting.
time they'll say, what the hell are you guys talking about? The other one is clearly right or longer or whatever.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And
Okay, so
it's all
I'm
about
on.
social conformity, and it really factors in like with I think.
Yeah, I'm just reading.
Yeah.
So, conclusion from the study: distortion of perception due to the stress of group pressure. This group of subjects always agreed with the group and said during the interview that they wholeheartedly believed that their obviously incorrect answers were correct. Group pressure distorted their
Yeah.
perception. Distortion of judgment. This was the most common outcome, where subjects assumed that their individual answers were incorrect after seeing the rest of the group answer differently, so they changed their answer to align with the group. Or
Yeah.
distortion of action. These subjects never doubted that they were correct and the group was wrong, but out of fear of being perceived as different, they suppressed their opinions and intentionally lied.
Yep.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I feel
I
like
mean,
we all think that we would be the person who would be like, no, I'm not going along with that. But the truth is, 80% of us would.
yes. Um, an irradiated woman says Milgram experiment. You know that one? Irradiated
I'll have to
woman
look.
obviously took freshman psych too. Um,
I did too, but
that's the with the electric shocks.
right. Oh yeah, I do know that one. Ooh.
Yeah, 'cause that happened in Connecticut. And so basically they're the test subject was okay, they have 2 people and they're like playing a game or something, and it's supposed to be whenever the one person gets the answer wrong, the other person is supposed to give them a shock. And
Right.
the person getting it wrong, they're the compatriot, like they're in on it.
Yeah.
And or I forget what that's called, compatriot word for that. But anyways, confederate, I guess. And then the person giving the shock is the experiment subject, whatever. So, and they have they have a doctor there with a clipboard and all this stuff seeming
Yeah.
official, and they're telling them, yes, go ahead and administer the shock. And it almost appears that they're killing the person actually, and
Right.
they do it anyways because they're so
Yeah.
afraid to go against the authority figure. And that's how you get like NAZIs and the
That's right.
HOLOCAUST.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think it's very, very related to the Ash experiment. I think that's a good one to bring up too. Yeah. And it goes along with cults and stuff. And I've been wanting to do this video about sororities, and like something that I want to say
Oh yeah.
is social acceptance. I actually personally believe, like, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, he actually puts social acceptance in the middle. And I think
Mm-hmm.
social acceptance goes on the bottom. I think it goes right above air. I think
Right.
that's how
Well,
important
yeah,
social acceptance is, because you in the wild, you're dead. You're dead in a few
that's right.
hours.
Yeah, we've evolved to need that because you need each other to survive.
Yeah, if the group rejects you,
You're
you're dead
screwed.
so quick. In a cold environment, you're literally dead in a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I think it's even more than water. We need to be socially accepted, which is one reason, like, to bring it back to like our internet addiction or whatever.
Right.
The internet's so tied, social media, so tied
Mm,
into feeling like we fit into this larger picture, and that
yep.
feeling of belonging,
Yes.
you know?
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh man, we have good
Crazy.
conversations.
I know.
We're all
Always.
over the place.
A little bit
I
of
feel
this, a
like
little
I
bit of
feel I should
that.
like apologize because it's just like so
Well, that was the
random
intent of coming on
stuff,
tonight.
but I
Just
know.
see where we go.
Talk about whatever.
See where we get. Crazy. But
Yeah.
probably wrap up soon, I think, because I got laundry to do.
Yeah, I think that's good. Definitely. ADHD chats.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Yeah, let's do 2 hours solid. Cut it off right
All
at
right.
2.
Sounds good.
Um,
What are we going to
yeah.
talk about for 8.5 minutes?
I don't know. That's a great question. Somebody bring up a topic.
Trying to think if there's anything going on or that I can think of, or if I saw anything recently. Oh, actually, here's an ADHD 90-degree turn.
Okay.
Have you been hearing about the orca whale attacks?
I did see that. I saw that two women got like swallowed. I was like, I can't believe that's like they didn't get swallowed. They got like they were in the mouth.
Oh no, that
Did you
was
see
a
that?
humpback whale. Yes, that was
Oh,
a humpback
okay.
whale, or maybe a blue whale. No, so in the last month, or in this
Okay.
month, maybe there's been 20 different incidents reported of orca whales attacking yachts and boats and stuff.
You know what I say to that? Good.
I know.
Right?
And but like ripping off the rudders and everything. And like
Good.
throwing the boats around. I know. But
Well, we don't have
for
any more entitlement than they do to be
oh,
there.
correct. Yeah. It says there have been
I
20
know you don't
incidents of
disagree with
orca
me. Yeah.
attacks in the Strait of Gibraltar this past month alone. It felt like the
And that's
orcas were
kind of like, yeah, go ahead.
just throwing the boat around like a rag doll. Orcas
That
know
is
something.
is that like and that's like unprecedented, I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Like that hasn't that it's not like that's like a common thing.
correct.
Yeah. I mean, we really fucked up everything on this planet.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we really did.
Mm-hmm. But I saw that today and I was like, what the hell? What are the orcas doing?
Yeah, no, I was thinking about that, the women in the whale's mouth. But that
I
was
know,
not,
that was
that was not
crazy.
a dissimilar situation where it's just like we are in their environment,
Right, they're just
you
existing. Yeah.
know?
The thing is whales are my number one fear on this earth.
Are
Um,
you serious? Why?
oh my
You don't
God.
even live near water. You don't even live near water.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'm not
You
afraid of
literally
orca
work with
whales.
like homeless drug addicts and you're more
Yeah.
afraid of whales.
Yeah. I'm not afraid of orcas, though, is the thing. But any other kind of whale, my number one. Like, I would rather be alone,
Like
like
a blue whale?
treading water in shark infested waters, than like be in a
Hmm.
rowboat with a whale surfacing near me. I would
Mm.
rather just die quickly by
That's
shark
so
attack
funny.
than by terror. No,
Because
so when I was, go ahead.
okay. No, no, tell me the origin of your whale fear.
Yes, when I was 2 years old, I saw Disney's Pinocchio, and
Okay.
the whale scene of Monstro the whale swallowing Geppetto literally scarred me for life, and I have never recovered 33 years later.
Wow. I don't think I ever saw that. So
Oh my God. I have
that's
never recovered.
amazing, dude. You have childhood trauma.
Big time. And like, but also, like, yeah, I can't handle, like, it. I can see a video of like a whale breaching, like leaping out of the water. But if I see a
Uh-huh.
photo from underneath the
Of it like
water of a
under
whale, like,
oh
I
no.
will cry.
They're
I
so
will, like,
peaceful.
no, I will
Wow. Because I just see
cry
whales
and
as like
like,
this like majestic, peaceful,
I
benevolent.
know everyone does, but I'm
That's
like,
so funny.
I'm
No, that's okay.
terrified.
It's okay to like have a fear like that
Like
for sure. That's fine. Well, you
the
said
intense, like,
thalassophobia too.
oh yeah, I have thalassophobia too. Fear of big things underwater. Um,
Mm.
and the dread I feel, like just this like pit of my stomach dread. I can't. Ugh. Ugh.
I knew a girl
No.
who was afraid of frogs. Like she was like deathly afraid
Okay.
of frogs. She just saw a frog, she'd like faint or something.
Oh.
And I'm like, damn.
Well, yeah, and it's like
Yeah, it's
totally
kind of that's
irrational,
kind of
right? Like,
similar. Yeah.
yeah, and I know it's irrational, but yeah.
Submechanophobia.
Oh
Is
God,
that what it is?
that's a different kind.
You have to Google
Submechanophobia
that.
is fear of man-made objects underwater.
Whoa, that's super weird.
Ugh.
Oh, so what is that?
Ugh.
Like a shipwreck?
Oh God,
Oh, I that's
yes. Or like a
oh no.
submarine.
Okay.
Oh God.
Can
Just
oh
like
my god,
Google
I want to
image
say
some. Just
trigger war. No, I okay. Speaking of using the phone in bed at night.
ugh.
Okay.
Oh,
Scrolling through video okay. I saw
I
this
oh God.
video. Maybe I
I
probably
just
should I should
Googled the
probably just
word
not tell you.
and I have my eyes covered as I'm trying to peek at the screen.
Did you see this thing where the guy I it actually freaks me out too. That he was trapped in a boat underwater for 3 days, but, like, his head was above water, and it was, like, at
I
night and shit, and
know.
he was, like,
I
kinda, like,
know. I
treading
know.
water, holding
Oh
onto the
God.
boat or whatever, but he survived, he lived, but,
I
like,
know.
I saw that I look it's 7:27 there, you have some time to recover before bed, but I know, I saw that at, like, 2 in the morning, and I was like, "Holy
Oh,
shit, I can never sleep again." Like,
I know.
any
I
of that
know. I
stuff
know.
like that or, like, caves.
Ugh.
Ted the Caver, any of that kind of shit.
No,
That's so
thank you. Ted the
yeah,
Caver
that's
screwed
just
me up forever.
that I know. No, I someone read I don't know, it was like read parts of that or something to we were in a group and we were actually in a cemetery at night. It was
Oh
like supposed to be
God.
like this was like 6 or 7 years ago. Like, spooky, like, oh, let's do
Yeah,
ghost
yeah, yeah.
stories in the cemetery. Um, yeah, I was like, we're all gonna get ghosts, guys. We're gonna get haunted and forever.
Yeah.
But yeah, um,
Ugh. Too scary.
ending on let's ghost stories with Lisa and Radical Ramblings.
Mm. I like spooky stuff and ghost stories and
I know you do. I know you like love true crime and stuff.
yeah, and
Just
I'm
not
like,
true
yeah,
crime
I'm
with whales.
no, I'm very afraid of
That's
irrational
so
things. Like,
you're like a blue whale is the length of 5
oh,
buses.
oh my God.
You don't like
Oh my
that?
God.
How
Oh
about
my God.
Baleen? That was
Ugh.
what Existential said. Dude, I think baleen are freaking cool. I no, what I
Oh,
think is really like, you know what? A whale will just like just like get a big mouthful of water, and then it just like shoots the water out and keeps the krill. Like that's actually such a freaking cool way to hunt. Just like its mouth is the size of like a car or whatever. Just like swamp.
Well, a blue whale is the biggest animal to have ever existed.
I know, dude. Oh, ever? Yeah. Like
Yes.
what about like they used to call it Brontosaurus. I don't know what's Brachiosaurus or whatever.
No, blue whales are
The
the
big
biggest
one.
animal to have ever existed.
Apatosaurus.
Apatosaurus, yeah. Oh, I love
Yeah,
dinosaurs.
they were like the big plant eating ones with tiny little brains.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I was thinking the other day? Okay, I know it's time to go, but elephants have enormous brains. They must have enormous brains. They have enormous heads.
Right.
So like could they be as intelligent as we are? Is their brain just like smoother or something?
I just
You
Googled
know?
elephant brain and it is severely wrinkled like ours are.
Okay, so, how do orca brain?
No, because then an orca
What?
picture
I know
is going to come up.
I thought orcas were an exception in your rule
Well,
book.
they are, but in certain
Oh, ew,
contexts. Oh,
brains are
God.
so creepy looking though. Looking
I
at it
can't
now.
look. I have my eyes covered as I'm trying to like peek at a corner of the screen to hit
I
the
don't like,
X.
you look up like geographic tongue. That's
Yeah,
kind of what an
yeah.
orca brain looks like. Dude, that's one of the creepiest things to me. Like the tongues that are like,
Yeah,
do you
yeah,
know what
yeah.
that is? Yeah.
Yeah, where they're all like cracked and like, yeah, they look like a brain.
Yes. Like no offense if anyone has that, but like
It's so weird.
I have like a let's see, I have like a line in my tongue, but it's not like severely like mushed up like that,
Yeah, yeah.
mushy looking. Oh God, don't even like to think about it. Okay, anyways, just this things
I'm
we
dying.
have phobias about.
Ugh,
Okay,
yeah,
this is really
good
fun.
times. Yes. Thanks for
I'm glad we
suggesting we do
streamed.
this. I know, me
Thanks for
too.
getting you out of. Are you ever gonna make videos again? What's it gonna take to get you to make it? Is it that you feel like you kind of talked about everything already? Because that's kind of how I feel. It's like I already talked about
Yes,
everything.
sometimes. And also I just like I used to make when I used to make videos like crazy, it was often because I was on Radfam Tumblr or Twitter and I
Yeah,
would see things and I'd be like, "Oh, I want to talk about that." But my Tumblr
right.
got deleted and I don't really go on Twitter anymore, so
Yeah,
I'm not
I guess
seeing,
that's what it's. You know, this feeling like I gotta get my opinion out there.
mm,
I just like don't really. I guess I used to feel that way, and now I'm just kind of like,
me too,
I
but
just
don't
don't really
anymore.
care.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
so I'll make a
I.
video if I feel like I really need to. But
But
oh
also,
man, I'm
like,
kind
you really have made a video on like every relevant topic,
of
and
kind
I feel
of.
like I have.
You
You
have a
know,
crazy good catalog.
no, you have a crazy good catalog. I have like a whole. I've got a. I told you I was. What was that like a few weeks ago? And I was like, That's it. I'm deleting all. I didn't delete my shit. I told you
Yeah.
I was deleting it, and you were like, no. I was gonna delete my ideas. I have this like
Oh right,
massive
your idea list. That's right.
400 videos idea list or whatever,
Oh my God.
and yeah, I come up with like lots of ideas, and then I'm just like, oh God, it's the work.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Radiated Woman. Thank you, Irene. Thank you, Essential Gamer. Thank
Thanks to
you.
everybody been in here.
You're
We
the
will
only 3
probably
people who commented in the last 10 minutes, so
it's okay.
everyone else, fuck
Yeah, we
you.
should no. We'll stream again, but I have 2 busy weeks coming up, so not in
Oh
the next two
yeah.
weeks.
Look, I really want to hear about, how it goes,
Okay, well we can do
how Montreal goes.
a Radical
You
Ramblings is
should
back
you
from
should vlog
holidays
it.
stream. All you're just gonna hear is meow, meow of
Vlog
race
it.
cars speeding past.
Here's business class on the airplane. Here's my fancy hotel that I bought with my
It's not
adult
fancy. It's a
paycheck.
comfort inn.
Here's my boyfriend Max.
You're right. Oh my god, imagine. I did enter contest to.
Ship you and I ship you and Max.
Oh my god. Ugh. Hilarious. No, I did enter a contest to win a like a fan meet and greet type shtick, but not with Max
Oh yeah.
Verstappen, with his teammate
Oh,
Sergio Perez.
Sergio. Yeah.
But I love
How's
the
Sergio
team,
been
so
doing?
that'll be fine. Well, he had a great start to the year. He's had 2 kind of poor races the last 2 weeks, and I think he may lose his seat next year because Red Bull are ruthless. They are not afraid to cut somebody. They have dropped drivers mid-season and swapped them in for someone else, so we'll see.
Maybe I'll play F1 on one of my gaming streams. That'd be fun. I haven't gone to the post office to see how much it's going to cost to send you my PlayStation.
It's going to be too much money that you should never do.
I looked it up and I think it was like $90 or something.
Oh, I know. I told you, and so you should not do that.
I love listening to the two of you, even though you hate my geographic tongue. I'm sorry. Just don't show me your tongue and we're good. I mean, you don't really see a person's tongue unless they kind of talk weird, which probably people with geographic tongues do. Flat rate boxes aren't that bad, Joe. It's to Canada. That's the thing, is you have to pay the American post to get to Canada. Then you have to pay, so you have to pay USPS to get to the border. Then you have to pay the customs or whatever fee. There's some customs fee.
Yeah.
There's some, I think that whatever. I don't know. Excuse me, young lady. It's not worth it to be able to play video games together.
No, it would be. No, that's a lot of money.
Oh, I'll pay for it.
No, I said I would.
I don't. Whatever. I have your address. I'll just send it to you. You can't stop it from arriving. No, the thing is, I want to figure out if the way. Would you be up for doing that on your channel? I mean, you could, like I do with my video game streams. I private them because I feel like it's not really it doesn't stand with my catalog. You know what I mean? But it's like I would want to stream. The way that I would want to do it, it would probably make sense to do it on your channel.
Okay.
Because okay, so the way I want to do it is I want you to stream and I want you to play with the controls. But I would remote on voice.
And also
it's kind of a single player thing. We could go back and forth, yeah. But the other thing is, I don't know. I've only ever streamed from PS5, so I'm not sure about streaming from PS4. You could, okay, I think you could remote on if I played, but then who gives a fuck about that? Like, the whole point is for you to play. I got to figure it out.
All right.
But anyways, I know you're like kind of tepid about it anyways. That's why I'm like a big rush with it, but like,
well,
it would be cool.
It's a lot of money.
Oh, that I don't care about that.
All right.
Look I bought a microphone to do yoga videos that was $200 and I'm like just sitting there, like, I don't know. To me, I don't care. It's like whatever. But meanwhile, I've got to check my revenue. I think I made $15 on YouTube last month.
Whoa.
Pretty good. I know. Really rolling in it. Anyways, okay. We're over time now.
I know, but I just opened Twitter right now. And
yes.
Today, the New York
Breaking
Post
news.
posted a thing about Elliot Page saying that she was attacked and called a F slur for gay men.
Okay.
Let's see here. Elliot Page reveals chilling transphobic attack outside LA hotel.
Oh, wait, I want to look too. Here, wait, put it in the thing. I guess we're not done.
Oh,
Put it in
I'm
the
on my
thing.
phone.
Oh,
How do
okay.
I?
New York Post,
Elliot
Elliot.
Page. The attacker apparently said, "I'm going to fucking gay bash you." F slur for gay men.
Well, that's like sad though, right? Well, if it really happened.
Yeah, of course.
That's not right.
No, that's
This is what I
horrible.
mean about compassion. This is
Yeah.
what I mean about compassion. This is why I need a gun, the maniac reportedly yelled at Page through the glass door.
Jesus Christ.
Aww. That's like really sad.
Yeah, that's scary.
Her whole story is insanely sad.
I agree completely.
Oh
Anyway,
boy.
sorry. Have
No.
a great
Well, let's see what the
evening,
comments
y'all.
say. Hold on.
Okay.
Comments. This is a tragic story of someone who isn't well and certainly not happy with themselves. She's still trying to prove something and attracting the wrong kind of attention. All right. Well, thank you for
Yes,
having
it was
me.
a good idea to come on stream. I had fun. I laughed a lot.
We should do it again.
Yes, in 2
I
weeks
laughed a
when I'm
lot
back
too.
from Montreal.
Oh, yes. Then you can get the whole trip report.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could next Tuesday, but it's the night before my trip, and I'll be packing and stuff. So
No.
probably not next Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. It's Tuesday. That's like our
Yeah,
day.
I know.
I know. Isn't it so funny? Like a month ago, we were like, we're gonna do every
Every Tuesday,
Tuesday. We were
and then
both
we were
so
like,
like into it, and then we're just both like,
"Oh yeah, it's
you
been a
know,
month."
yeah, oopsie,
Oh well,
it
it'll get
happens.
there. Yeah.
It's just fun to
Okay.
hang
Well,
out.
have a good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.